What's cracklin', everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list, where each episode we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're doing Grape-Nuts. If I'm being honest, I did not realize this was cereal for a long time. I thought it was just sort of like a parfait yogurt sort of mix in, because that's what it seriously looks like. But on the back, they have a parfait recipe, and it specifically says Grape-Nuts cereal. So they consider it cereal, so it's going to go on the list. However, that also means I don't really know what to compare this to. There's nothing sort of that same, what I'm expecting, sort of texture. It seems like just sort of a base piece, like a cornflake or a Cheerios or something like that. So I don't expect anything crazy. Maybe I'll find out why it's grape. Maybe it's got a grape flavor or something. But overall, I think this is not easily compared to anything on the list. So kind of a wild card. But let's just get into it. See, it's like, it sounds weird. It's like a very full box. I feel like a lot of the times the bag, and like, it feels like it's only like partway full, but like, I guess it's not all the way full here either. But I guess because it's such a compact little box and it's a pretty like heavy box for how small it is, it feels like it's very full. So that's kind of nice if they're good. Yeah, it just smells like grain. Very much like a wheat scent. Now tell me that's not. Okay, it is wheat. But tell me that's not just like yogurt topping. I'm not going to go all the way because that already feels like quite a bit. On the box, it like. I honestly can't tell if it's in milk or yogurt on the front there. But, I don't know, this feels wrong. I feel like I'm having the wrong consistency of dairy. Okay. Okay. Clearly, a lot of chewing had to happen on this one. Very hard, crunchy pieces here. Pretty good for yogurt or parfait stuff. Don't know if it's great as a cereal. It's kind of, as I noted with my expectation there, it's kind of wheat flavor, and that's really it. Nothing about the texture or the flavor. It says grape to me, so maybe a grape nut is something different, right? Just like a fun word play thing. But that was a long bite, so I expect this bowl to take a little while to get through. I'm still working my way through this bowl, but the milk has softened the pieces a bit, so not as like hard crunchy as it started off, but still lots of chewing has to happen for this. So that part hasn't changed, and it's kind of weird where I can't tell for sure if it's getting like milk absorbed into the piece or not, because sometimes it still feels like the grape nuts and the milk are completely separate entities in here, but just still powering through. It seems like the milk is getting absorbed because it's kind of disappearing from this bowl. So let's taste it before it's all gone. Tastes like wheat milk. It's like Wheaties or any of those just base wheat. Yeah, milk that's had a bit of wheat in there. Kind of like the Grape-Nuts themselves. Not too exciting. There's also not too much left. Now that I've finished the bowl, I feel more confident in saying this should be saved for parfaits and yogurt and not used as cereal. I've pretty much said everything I have to say about Grape-Nuts already, so just to sort of recap, they're pretty crunchy, like especially later on, got a lot of hard crunch going on there. They absorb the milk a lot more than I expected because it seemed kind of its own thing from the milk, but I guess they had secretly combined, so that was something. You have to chew it a lot, and biggest of all, I think this is much more a yogurt or parfait topping than a cereal on its own. So that's pretty much all my thoughts. So what I'm going to do is give Grape-Nuts an E. I said this wasn't really cereal to me, but despite that, I don't think it's an F because the Fs are just truly, truly bad. Like nothing really good about them at all. And this, while very much incredibly meh, is more misguided than bad, where I think they just didn't know what to call this, so called it cereal, because they didn't want to just say box of parfait crumbs. They're like, oh yeah, I guess this is cereal, and they just never bothered to change it. And like taste-wise, it's not that different from a lot of just base wheat stuff, so I guess it's kind of similar in that way, but there's no way this is higher than an E at all, and it doesn't quite hit the bad to be an F. So it just kind of exists, which is kind of a meh way to be. So gets an E. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've had Grape-Nuts and what you thought about it. If you've had Grape-Nuts actually in yogurt and parfait stuff and you actually quite enjoyed it, feel free to let me know how it does there. If you have also, for some reason, tried it just as straight cereal on its own and you did actually really like it, you could let me know about that too. Or if, like me, you just kind of ate it and you were like, this is whatever, you can agree with me as well. I will say, if you do decide to eat this as cereal, props for you, because there's a lot of chewing and you'll definitely feel like you got a lot done in the morning, so I guess in a way that's a win. And I wanted to double check this, like, I'm not crazy. It says cereal on the front, it says cereal on the back, so it is a cereal. But until next time, stay delicious.